Hello, welcome to Real Healing Methods Spiritual Academy with Judy Jewett. Today's guest, as we have been, Kathy has been joining us,
Mhm.
but she will continue as long as she is guided to do this, is Kathy.
Hi,
And
Judy.
hi. Kathy lives in Southern Ohio, just so you know. Kathy and I actually went to school together, and we saw each other at a class reunion. And she already believed in all this spiritual stuff, and she was like, "Oh my God, I someone that is from Southern Ohio could actually do this and think out of a box and have that strong connection and get messages." It was just wonderful. The unique thing with Kathy, and this is for the listeners, if you will, to hear this, is Kathy has been on her spiritual path her whole life, but she was very religious. She's always had a very close relationship with God and as a Christian with Jesus and her angels. And she's always throughout life received messages but didn't quite understand it all and didn't tell people about it. Is that right, Kathy? You didn't talk
That's
about
right.
it.
Well, I
So
would test it on maybe my sister or my husband, but depending on the reaction I got there, I didn't tell anybody else. Yeah.
6 years ago, Kathy, during the COVID, began to awaken and what that means. And so for you out there that are really interested in spiritual growth and support and feeling safe and know that it's all okay to really to develop and to grow and expand your consciousness and your heart. It's about connecting again to a deeper connection with our soul. This is what it's really all about. So with that, we're going to have a candid conversation. Kathy is going to share some experiences that she's had, and this is a judgment-free environment. It is to help listeners like yourself to know that you're okay. It's safe. And with that, then we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about what is the difference between these dimensions that people are talking about. So, with that, let's begin. All right, Kathy, we were having this conversation about off camera about um, messages that you've received and somebody that you knew in school, you grew up with, or at some point, you
Right.
knew
Mhm.
friends. And let's go ahead because I know there are listeners that have similar, I know it. They know they have similar experiences or they know someone that has. So let's talk about dive into the spirit world.
Okay, that's great. Yes, this is my most recent experience, which I hadn't had anything, at least that I had recognized recently. But it's been 2 or 3 months ago. I lose all track of time anymore. But during the night, I woke up to a vision next to me in the bed, which was all I could see was the bottom of a white robe coming down like someone was standing on the bed. And I raised up and I knew who it was. And, in my thoughts, it kept repeating over and over. It was this friend of mine that I had known in junior high school and high school that had passed away. And I just, in my thoughts, said, "Can I hug you?" That's what I wanted to do. So I just hugged that robe around the bottom. And the most incredible comfort, I just kept thinking comfort just filled me with such comfort, which I needed at that time. It was wonderful. And when I let go, it was gone. So I asked if I could do it again, and I heard yes. So I did it again, and I felt it again. It's just indescribable. I've never felt anything in this world like it. So that was the end of that. But I'll never forget it. It was just incredible. So probably 6, 8 weeks went by, and I was begging the spirit world to please let me feel that again. I wanted to feel that again. And this person that I knew to bring it to me. Well, I don't know, for some reason, apparently that's not possible right now, but I got up one morning, fixed breakfast, sat down to have coffee, and I turned Facebook on. Now, this friend and I had never connected on Facebook. I had not seen him since 1972, except for the reunion in 2017. And we reconnected in 2017 and got to talk a little bit, and that was it. And then I'd heard that they had passed away. So I looked at their Facebook. This was like in 2020 or something. And their last post was December of 2018. And in March of 2019, a friend from high school had posted happy heavenly birthday to them. So I had known they had passed somewhere between December of 2018 and March of 2019. And that really affected me. It was just someone that kind of was a constant in my growing up years. So that morning when I turned my Facebook on, I went to the little magnifying glass up in the corner to see which of my friends had posted new posts that day. And there was her name on there, and that they had made 4 posts. Never had we had any contact on Facebook. We had never been friends, should not be there at all. And I thought, I just smiled and I clicked on the profile, but I knew there wouldn't be anything there. And when I went to the profile, it was the same. The last post were birthday in 2019, happy heavenly birthday. And the last post they had made was December of 2018. But it had notified me now that they had made 4 new posts that day when we hadn't even been friends on Facebook. So I just smiled. I knew, well, this person's just letting me know I'm still here. Everything's okay.
Wow.
I know. That's why I just sat there and smiled and thought, wow, I can't
Wow.
believe it. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. So you have
Yeah.
someone. Be interesting to know if he is one of your guardians now.
Yeah, I wondered that because
Yeah.
it's just a strange connection, and so much time had passed and we had never talked or seen each other. It's like, you know, just a strange connection there.
Yeah, that is beautiful and wonderful. And um, what is the most amazing thing that you felt the hand of God?
Mm.
You felt pure love and saw pure light. And your friend is telling you, right, that that's we all in spirit, that's what we are. We're connected to the one source of the creator. We are never separated from God,
Mm.
ever.
Right.
Wow.
I got chills when you said that. It went all through me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you got to experience. And for you to have such a high energy, a vibration, to be able to feel that, Kathy, that is remarkable.
It was remarkable. It's indescribable. I can't relate it to anything on this earth. It really
Wow. And
is.
you're beaming so much love and so much light, just sharing the story it's your life. It's something most magnificent, wonderful thing that you've been able to experience. It's beautiful and wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
is that is that is huge. And I'm hoping that this helps other people. And what would you say to someone if they want to contact? You didn't try to do it. You had the desire in your heart. You had no expectations. You had no attachment.
No, I didn't expect that at all.
And it's easier. It's easier if you don't know and you expect it. However, think about this. You got to experience this friend in another way, and
Mhm.
spirit with Facebook of all things.
I know that's what I think is so strange. But I had heard that it's sometimes easier. I don't know what you think about that, Judy, for spirits to connect through technology or electrical connections somehow, with their energy.
That sounds like ghosty energy and ghosty of trying to connect with the unliving. Hey, my family got out the Ouija board. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I remember that when we were kids. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
big.
my sister and my mother, my oldest sister is so intuitive, and my mother and her would work it. Now, that's not my mother now on the other side laughs. When we tried to do it back probably before COVID, we tried to do it, and my mother laughed and said, "You don't need the Ouija board. You got my connection right now."
Well, what I remember about it is, and my parents said, no, don't touch that. They thought that was evil spirits. You weren't allowed to use the Ouija board. No, that was bad.
Yeah, well, that's part of the dogma.
Hmm.
The dogma and that you can't know what's happening in the spirit world. That's only God that knows. That's the fear that
Right,
has been put in us. And so that's your lineage. That's one of the things that that they heard. And that's part of the old beliefs that
right,
it's time to shed. Now, I don't promote the Ouija. You have to really be highly protected. But what I do promote is going within and in dream world is the easiest.
hmm,
And I haven't experienced what you have. It was absolutely astounding. I've had energy clearing using um, my real technique, modality, and I've had miracles and I've seen all kinds of things. So
yeah.
it comes in many different ways, right? So it's you can what you now know. Let me tell you, let me ask you this. What have you learned from that experience?
From just this one single one, because
Yeah.
I have had several. They've accumulated over the years. Uh, I've had enough now. I almost forget some of them. They used to be so prominent that I couldn't forget. I mean, I can recall them all, but they're not just all right up front like they used to be. But I have seen, people who have passed after they pass. Like I believe other people do that sometimes, but they say they dreamed it. But it's totally different than a dream. I say that those visions interrupted my dreams. I don't remember my dreams. These things I can recall at any time I want to. It was very real and there was a purpose. And
Yes, yes, yes. And
yeah.
my my oldest sister, who's a you would oh my God, you would love her.
Mm.
She developed her gift of psychic mediumship. She never charged for it. She would help people. And my family is a third generation medium, but a medium in the spiritual aspect. But
Wow.
when I said that to Archangel Michael, he just looked at me. So you all can do this, right? I think, and it wasn't that I thought I was obviously any better because I sure have lacked confidence in my life. But I don't know why I even told you that because we're all human. We're all doing this human experience of
Yeah, I think
so.
that's good to hear that everyone has the same
Oh yeah, and but
feelings about it.
yes, and so the point I want to say to you, she's had some similar experiences, and as weeks go on, we the audience is going to want to hear more about your experiences.
Okay.
But I will tell you, my sister had gotten messages. People would come see her, especially famous people, when they crossed over. She never did anything with her readings because she didn't know what to do. I kept saying, publish a book, publish a book. But she would sit in front of the computer, she would feel the presence, and she would sit in front of the computer through her mind's eye, and it would be like a movie when you're getting information, and then she would start
Right.
writing it. Okay. But I'm telling you this because even though I don't have that gift like she has, that's her own unique gift. Other people have, but that's what she did. But what would happen, because I'm very in tune and connected is then like I remember Robin Williams coming to see her and then and she wrote it and about the same time Robin Williams came to see me. But
Oh, cool.
he didn't give me that kind of message. He gave me a message to tell me what I needed to do.
Oh,
He did. He stood in front. Here I have a microphone. He
uh-huh.
stood like a radio, like being in a radio station. He looked this way, he talked, and a mic. He turned this way and talked. He turned this way and talked, and he turned back and said, every way you are to do this. Every media that you can talk, that's what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Yeah,
very-
and yeah, it sounds wonderful and grateful, but if I don't do anything with it, it doesn't help. And I'm to help people. I'm to inspire them. I'm to say when there is a lemon, you make lemonade. You take every situation and you turn it in. So, and I already know you know to do that. That's your natural thing. So I like I said, I just gosh, your gift is just beautiful and wonderful. We look forward to more of your experiences that other people can understand. And the other thing it will do when you're listening to high vibrational energy, like our show, it helps to wake up people. It will help activate your own brilliant codes of unlocking the spiritual information to help you awake more.
that'd be great because I
That's what
feel
you're
like I
doing
have,
to help people, Kathy.
yeah,
That's why we're
well,
doing this.
I know I was just going to say I don't feel like I have any control of it whatsoever. Things just happen and then I say, "Oh wow," you know. It's like I'm as surprised as anybody else when I see something or
Yeah, and
know something.
when I said to you, you said to me when we had already done a show and you were nervous, oh, so nervous. And we talked about, I was very careful, like, well, we'll just keep the video off, but people need to hear what you have to say. And then you got okay with the video. And you said, well, God said to me, what? What did God say to you? Your message.
That there is something, you know, out of my wheelhouse, I guess you'd say, that would be presented to me, and I should step into it and don't be afraid and do it. But that was just like a week maybe before you slowly pulled me into this, and I didn't mean to get onto the screen and be videoed at all.
And I'll share what happened. I ha I
You
have
tricked me.
I have some technical issues sometime, and I have to say I have to take responsibility. And I had sent a link to my team, my email list, and what happened, people had trouble getting on. And I did an invitation, and but I didn't know because what I didn't know is if you put in Zoom the time and day you're going to do a show, they give you a different link. And I've been using my own custom link. And so I didn't know that. And so people were trying to log on to a link that I wasn't even there. I'm on my link and you got the right link.
I was on there, yeah.
Yeah. Last week we did a show. I sent it to people to come on to podcast to listen, but there are three links that Podbean gives you. And I didn't understand what they meant. So I gave them the link to log on to podcast to Podbean. Like no one's going, why would they do that unless they're a big buff on podcast? I should have given the link that said download the episode. So now my face is turning red. And I feel like I must be sabotaging myself, tripping over myself to show up of the person that I am. This was with Robin Williams, wasn't that long ago after he had passed. So we know that was 2012 or 2013 or something like that,
I
right?
don't remember.
Oh yeah, it was a while ago.
Wow, I
And
didn't know
I
it was that.
was living, it might have been 11. I just know where I was living and where I was when I got the message. Like you just sometimes you just remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, seriously. So and so I would do it and then I wouldn't do it. But it's just that's why I want to guide you and guide anyone out there that know that they're here to do something and they want to wake up more and that there's so much more they want to do in life and join the academy. It's really a place of that getting back with that deep soul connection. Deeper, we haven't had it since we were born. That's what we're trying to return to. So come join us. And I you can tell I've been through all this and sometimes I still may tumble, but overall, I am absolute know what I'm doing and on this path of pure energy and light. It is about trusting, being divinely guided by the angels and by God, and getting the real truth, getting rid of the dogma, recognizing if there is anger in your life at some point when maybe God disappointed you. That would be normal as a child, having something happen, or it could be that you just don't know. There's so much information and you're waking up and maybe it's religion that that God is not an angry God, and some of these things you've heard and you want to get back to the truth of your pure self. And that's what this group is about. And I'm hoping you will learn so much through the podcast, the videos that will help you. That's what my prayer is for everyone. And so back to Kathy. I do want to say, Kathy, you weren't on the podcast. You and I, before that, we were talking, I believe, and I said something to you, and then we went ahead and booked you to be on a podcast, to record it because God told you there was going to be something and not to say no.
And here came Judy right down the road immediately. Yeah, that happened so fast, my head was spinning.
Yeah, okay, so it was, and we were on that. Okay, so let me back it up because I know I went on, I do sometimes go off, but it was to go full circle. You were part of the original recording, and nobody else could show up. And I said, Kathy, let's turn this into a podcast.
You said, let me just record this first. And then you said it'll just be audio. And then you said, can I put the video on? You just really snuck me in there very
Not
slowly.
on purpose. I couldn't help it. I thought, Kathy, people need to hear you. You have a big message and you're here to help the awakening. And you don't have to be anyone other than you. And you're helping. And so I go to talk about R.E.A.L and the Academy because this is what it's about. It is about helping people to awake and to claim their sovereignty and their freedom. And so you said, okay. You wanted to cover up.
I still do not watch the podcast.
It's
I
okay.
know if
I
I
don't watch,
watched, I
I
would
get
say,
it.
Judy, pull that thing off of there. So I don't watch.
Yeah, yeah. And this is going on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I may have a harder time avoiding that. I don't know.
I'm going to schedule this episode on Facebook. It'll take a week before it shows.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have a week to prepare yourself. Breathe. I feel your
Let me,
anxiety. Breathe,
I
breathe.
feel it too. Okay.
You're safe and it's okay. We're in a safe place and it is all perfect. So with that, anything else you would like to say before we go? And I do have one more thing when you're done, just to share
Oh,
one more thing.
I do have more stories. We'll just save those for another time. But
We'll talk about different dimensions. We talked about dimensions today, but I didn't name the dimension. And let me share that. More teaching. When you touched the robe, you went into seventh dimension.
wow, really?
Yeah.
That's great. Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And you were able to do it, access it without being aware of it in the purest energy of sleep. You were told and you were prepared on a way that you don't know, but obviously you were ready because your angels, your guides, and God never present something to you and give you information that is above your readiness. Never.
Wow.
Yeah, you were ready. That is big. Seventh dimension. You lived. So that would be in ascension. If you cross over and you're no longer in a body, that would be the seventh dimension. Yeah, you materialized it, Kathy. That's
Oh, yes.
huge.
I can't
And,
comprehend all
and
that.
so now when your friend appeared again and gave you a message, you received it on the sixth dimension. And that's where we are. We're in everyday life, the sixth dimension. We can go back to a lower energy of fear. Fear is the lower energy, it's not the high energy. And so you got the truth, and you've got many, many stories, but you got to experience seven dimensions, seventh dimension. That is like beautiful and wonderful.
Every
We,
time you say that, I get chills.
yes, we are. This is really important for people to understand. We are at a place in history. This is the last thing I want to say. It's huge. It is huge. The great change, the great awakening, and God says it, and the angels say it, and the guardians say it, is you have such a unique time in history that we've always been able to create what we want because we work in creator energy, but you get to create faster, you get to create bigger, you get to create everything you want. And we have an opportunity with God to go in. We're already in six dimensions. The ones listening that stay with this podcast, that stay with this video, they're craving it like you and I, Kathy. They can't get enough of it. They want God. They want to awake. They want more information. Okay. That's part of it. You want that wholeness of who you are. And we have an opportunity to do that, to literally return to what we did when we took our first breath. Now, do you know what took place in your baby body
No,
when you
I
were born? It's huge.
no.
You were in non-duality. You got to be born in a body, and your soul got to shine and bring forth this love of who you are, of the purest energy of non-duality. You and all sentient beings, this is what you get to experience, your soul presence as a newborn. That's one reason we all love babies so much, the purity of the baby,
Yeah.
because the baby shines and loves and only knows perfection. Okay, so that's what little babies get to experience, and that's what you get to return to. And it is happening. And there's so much more I would love to share with the audience, with God, with our etheric heart. That stay tuned and you will get to learn more. But that's the awakening. That is the end result of
Would
all
be
this.
right.
It is gorgeous. So thank you very much. You can go to www.realhealingmethods.com. The website is live. It is still getting some changes, but go in there and read and learn. And with that, I thank you very much.